On the inside. They're getting ready to go right now. This is Dean Faithfull with the kickoff for Billings. It's going to go off those dasher nets and bobbled around in the end zone. Coming out with it. The whistles blow.
Going to whistle this one dead in the end zone, so this one's going to come back. We'll see.
For Billings, Dean Faithfull, maybe my favorite name on any roster in the AF1. Ooh, high snap. The kick is up and good. Great job by the holder, Darius Prince, and Darius Prince is a new face, along with several others that we'll touch on. As this is one of the more exciting plays, the kickoff with the dasher boards and the rebound nets. But he could score a 2-point deuce if this splits the uprights. Faithfull right down the middle. Oh, off the boards. It's going to come out of there with Josh Meyer. Oh, he breaks the tackle at the 3 and goes outside, across the 20. Penalty flags fly. But the tackle made out there by the kicker, Dean Faithfull, finally brought Meyer down to the turf. Let's see what the penalties are about. Caleb Brown played his college ball for Idaho State Bengals.
A player that Cat and Grizz fans may well remember from his days in the Big Sky.
Here's Faithfull to add the extra point, and it's up and good. Penalty flag flies as we have some contact into the kicker here. Coming in with the late hit, Trevante Carter. And I believe that's going to go against the Wolfpack. So now kick off as here's another shot at Faithfull. Kicks, and he comes right from the left side, takes him out low, and that is a penalty every time.
Yeah, they're going to call that one, and that's the thing about those kicker penalties. Sometimes you see the kickers kind of flop out there, but that one looked pretty legit.
That was legit. Faithfull, by the way, has 2 deuces in his 4 games with Billings this year. He has 2 deuces and 2 field goals and 11 PATs. So he's been very faithful,
right,
and getting the nod from the coaching staff.
It's an enormously important part. I mean, obviously you hear about it in the outdoor game all the time. Coaches talk about it, three phases to the game: offense, defense, special teams, and how important that is. But, the reality of the indoor game, you score so many points that you're always going to have an opportunity to kick a lot of extra points. You cannot punt, so you're in field goal range from anywhere on the field, or you need to be in field goal range from anywhere on the field. And so the reliability of your kicker and the ability to do a number of things out there, and including scoring on kickoffs, very, very important.
So Faithfull will try the deuce one more time. Another factor here in the First Interstate Arena is the scoreboard that hangs right over the center of the field. The kickers have to kind of kick it around it, curve it around it. A lot of them hit it, and then they get the ball at the 25-yard line. So you don't want to do that.
We did a game, and this one's going to be kicked off.
Faithfull kicks off the rebound netting. Goes to Josh Meyer. He's got quick feet, and he's loose at the 10, hit from behind, tackled, and another penalty flag flies in. That tackle, he was rather distraught with the situation in Corpus Christi. Faithfull adds the extra point. But what I was going to say, Darius Prince
in Billings, I'm dating myself a little bit here, 15 years ago.
The glory days, as they call it.
That's true, yeah, with Chris Dixon and, half that coaching staff, Chris Turner and Mania Smith, both on those.
Off the dasher boards. It's picked up by Meyer across the goal line out to the 5. He's hit right away.
Right in the breadbasket for you, and that's exactly what he did.
Dean Faithfull, the kicker for Billings. Can he add the extra point? He does. He makes it an even 30-point first half here for Billings, as they've got the goose egg going against the Washington Wolfpack. Turn things around if they want to make these playoffs coming up.
They do, and I think that you mentioned early that the reality is getting in and of itself isn't that much of an accomplishment, and there is so much change throughout the course of a season that what you are today isn't necessarily the team you go into the playoffs with.
Faithfull tries for the deuce. Caroms off the side of the rebound nets.
But it was touched by a fan, so that one blows it dead. Otherwise, that would have been a live ball you have to bring out. So
they're playing with each other. That could be a real vaunted attack.
Well, we've talked about it a lot, that, sometimes it takes some time as you transition new players in during the course of the season. But, yeah, I tell you what, they're on pace for six touchdowns a game right now. So if you can keep that up, anything in that neighborhood, you're going to be pretty happy with both of those acquisitions.
Absolutely. And not only does Darius Prince catch passes, he also holds. He was the holder there for Dean Faithfull, who lived up to his name and split the uprights to advantage 37-0 now as the Outlaws.
You've seen we've been running no commercials tonight. Not a lot of downtime in there. It's not, it's a very fast-paced game, a lot of very fast-moving game. The altitude factors in at some point.
This is Josh Meyer back.
Got it.
Oh, Faithfull tried to go for the deuce and it caromed off the metal upright. Okay, so
and there's been a lot of changes for the Wolfpack, and that certainly factors into it. They got behind the 8-ball early with the turnovers and with the botch snaps and whatnot. But nevertheless, you can score from anywhere on the field at any given time. They held them to 3.
Here's Faithfull with the point after, and he's good again, living up to his name. Dean Faithfull, the kicker for Billings.
How does he not have an NIL deal with the Restoration Company? Maybe he does. I don't know.
I think he may have evaporated all of his college eligibility. 44-3.
But there's a Faithfull restoration here in town. He ought to have a gig with them.
Right, absolutely.
They're going to get more than one.
8 penalties have hurt the Wolfpack from the very get-go. Faithfull with the kick. Is it a deuce? It is! Right through the uprights from the goal line. That's another 2 points.
Billings, Mr. Prince.
And steady Eddie. Dean Faithfull splits the uprights again, adding to that Billings lead 51-3 now.
And apparently the knock on the head as he went over the board is not that big a deal. Prince
later that often, but when I do, I have a good time. I have to remind myself as an old guy, I need to stretch and do everything because just going on the simulator is just like playing golf. You can't just waltz in there. All right, here's Faithfull. Another deuce. He is got that down. Look at him split that.
And no laundry on the field, so this one
counts. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 5-yard line. Billings is awarded 2 cut points.
What
First
a
down,
job
Washington.
Dean Faithfull is doing. That's his third deuce that's counted so far this season. He had another one in the game, but it didn't go. Here's another look at it. But he doesn't come much more perfect than that.
No.
Good job with the camera work, guys. Dean Faithfull. He's out of Colorado State University Pueblo.
Really?
And is enjoying extended kicking career here in Billings in the AF1 this year.
Well, the altitude's not going to bother him any.
No. All right.
Their highest point total on the season here in 2025, I think it may be.
For Billings it is.
Yeah.
Albany put 100 on Corpus Christi.
Well, yeah.
I hope we don't see that again. And the kick is good. Dean Faithfull again splits the uprights, and Billings now with 60.
Travel costs, baby, travel costs.
At least they're getting some good experience, and one of those teams is going to come out smelling a little bit better. They're both tied now at 2 and 5. Salina and maybe Corpus Christi, which of those two of those teams are probably not going to get in the playoffs.
No, I mean, right now I think you'd have to say that, Southwest Kansas and Albany are all but locks for the playoffs.
Faithfull did it again. Another deuce. His second of the game, the third of the game. One of them didn't count because of the penalty. So this young man has a really reliable and accurate leg.
Well, there's 62. You were talking about 63.
Yeah.
There's 61 and 62.
It's just a matter of time.
I think that's correct. Yes.
Still, that is a heck of a kick.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, I mean, think about how high up that is. I mean, that's a kick. So, yeah, I get that you're indoors. I get that you're at altitude. You're kicking off turf, all of those things.
That was almost a line drive because of the big scoreboard hanging down. You can't really go up and over.
No.
You have to go around or underneath, and those pretty much were just dead on.
And it's 58 yards, and that's going through the uprights about 25 feet in the air.
It looked like a 3-iron.
Right. I mean, that is a long shot, and if you're talking about with a sort of what we think of as a normal goalpost, that thing would have been good as a field goal from 70.
I believe so. 61-23 back on the 3rd of April. Now it's close to be. And he does. Faithfull splits the uprights 69-10. A statement victory here tonight for the retooled Billings Outlaws, I'd say. They're at the bottom of the power rankings, mainly because they've lost a good core of their team. Okay, here goes Faithfull. It'll bounce off of the boards this time. And here come the Washington Wolfpack. This is Josh Meyer with it. And he